And we are recording. Welcome everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar. And of course I am joined by VTuber Yukiro Faith. But before we go further into this session, this channel is proudly sponsored by the following publishers, starting with Shades of Vengeance and their Era Marscape Kickstarter. This is pretty much Doom, the tabletop RPG. You play as enhanced soldiers facing off against demonic threats. It uses the Era D10 dice pool system, which is quite cinematic. Then we have Magi Knights Awakening, the Super Sentai and Magical Girl inspired tabletop RPG, where you confront mythos like horrors. They have recently released An Echo from the Stars. This is the start of an entire saga. Explore the mysteries of Frost Peak Academy. Look into rumors concerning hauntings in the streets, as well as a mysterious, debilitating illness. Then we have Dead Tree Studios, publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have also released the Pay What You Want tabletop RPG Daughters of Lamb, where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. Next we have the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. And check out their sword and sorcery game Savage Swords. It has received a complete makeover. All of the AI assets have been replaced with handcrafted illustrations and layout. All of the links to these amazing publishers will be in the description and in the pinned comment as well. So yes, today we are continuing the machine gods of the Noxian Expanse GMless campaign. Yukiro, any thoughts before we explore this mysterious science fantasy world?
I have no thoughts in my head, only smash, smash, smash.
Yes, for those that are new to the campaign, check out the playlist. If you haven't seen the other parts, Yukiro is playing as this very strong, pretty barbaric woman. And I'm playing as a guy that is not exactly in the best in physical constitution. But he did acquire during his explorations a magical medallion of sorts, rather a technological piece, but he thinks it's magical. And we're currently standing just outside of a pyramid with a spiral just outside of it. Like the around the pyramid, you have a weird spiral. And so it begins. As Aldred, I look at the pyramid and mention to Yukiro, should we try to go into the pyramid or should we look outside? Perhaps try to climb the spiral staircase.
I say we look outside first. But only because it's weird that this has that spiral leading up.
Yes, because usually you enter the pyramid and then you perhaps climb up from the inside of the structure. Do you want to climb the steps?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
As Yukiro, I wait for Aldred to take lead first.
As Aldred, I prepare my medallion on my right hand and move carefully, not too fast, up the stone steps, rolling to determine the encounter. In the Exploring Ruins section, page 77. Rolling a d20. The air fills with floating geometric patterns. Triangles, circles, and squares begin floating around the spiral staircase. I look to Yukiro as Aldred and speak. Very strange combination of patterns, but they don't seem to be harmful.
As Yukiro, I squint and look at the patterns and say, "Are you sure A positive.
As Albert considers and Yukiro examines, rolling to determine any effect coming from the patterns. On page 73, Yukiro, roll 1d100.
$55.
Enter. Page 74, just under it. Roll another d100.
$91.
Enter ruin. Come up with an interpretation of the result.
As Yukiro and Eldred hear at the sigils, a sudden flash of light engulfs them, and the two find themselves transported inside of the pyramid.
Rolling to determine the size of the structure. On page 71, roll a d10.
Not my d10. It's my d10. It's 5.
Medium-sized pyramid. D8 for the usage die. That will determine the exact size as we proceed. Roll another d10 to determine the area layout of where we are positioned.
10.
A room. Roll to determine the special ruin conditions. Page 72, a d10.
Oh, another 10.
Extreme cold. The temperature in the ruins is dangerously low. Max health is reduced by 1d6.
Oof.
As Aldred, I rub my arms and exclaim, even with all of my desert bandages, it's freezing here.
As Yukiro, I rub my arms, say, "You're right. It really is really freezing."
Roll a d6 and reduce your hit points by that amount. 2.
2.
Total 22 for me. Rolling to determine if there is light in the room. The room is in complete darkness. As Aldred, I exclaimed to Yukiro, I'm going to see if I can fumble and light a lantern. Keep your guard up. I'm not sure if we're going to get attacked while I light up this lantern.
Simon understood. As Yukiro, I draw my sword and stand ready.
Rolling to determine if something occurs while lighting the lantern. Nothing happens, and the room is illuminated. On page 71, roll 2 6-sided dice and mention the results separately.
Five and 6.
The room is 50 feet long from north to south and 6 from west to east. Roll a d4 to determine the exits.
2.
Roll a d4 to determine the position of the first exit.
1.
1 is in the north. Roll again.
Oh, another 1.
Roll again.
4.
The other exit is in the west side. Roll on page 72 1d6 to determine the room contents.
6.
Must roll on the feature table on page 76. Roll a d6 on page 76.
2.
A brazier lies in the center of the room. Rolling a d20 to determine if the brazier is lit or without fire. The brazier has been extinguished. Roll on page 73 1d100 to determine the theme and atmosphere of the room.
No, 58.
Evade. On page 74, roll a d100 again.
38.
Evade, torture. Come up with a description, with an interpretation. Evade, torture. There is a brazier in the center of the room. As Aldred, I look around.
Go on.
As Aldred, I look around and notice a torture device with the spikes removed. One of the ancient devices known as the Iron Maiden. And I exclaim, that looks like one of the very ancient devices to cause pain and death, but all of the spikes seem to have been removed. Do you notice anything else of interest, Yukiro?
As Yukiro, I look around and I notice other similar old style torture devices. One has an old frayed rope, pretty much almost burnt up, but it leads from the brazier to something similar to the Iron Maiden.
As Aldred, I look in Yukiro's direction, and I speak. It's so strange. Why would they have torture devices here? But they're not exactly. Well, in the case of the Iron Maiden, you really cannot torture anyone there. Perhaps to imprison someone. Definitely, you could definitely push someone in there and perhaps lock it, and you will have a prisoner.
They're really old too.
Here's a scary thought. Yes. Could it be that something escaped from the torture device and broke the spikes or something?
I mean, it's possible. We don't know if this was bad people imprisoning good people or good people imprisoning bad people.
Yes, or maybe something in between.
Or something in between. Could be that whoever it was got freed.
Well, if it's dangerous and hostile, I hope it freed itself and went away.
Let's hope.
Roll to determine ruin event on page 77. A d20.
12.
Gravity nullifies in bubble-like zones. As I look around the room, I feel my left arm being pulled upwards, suspended in midair. And I speak. It's strange. There are like some zones where it feels lighter, floaty even.
As Yukiro look around, really confused, and then notice a piece of rubble just kind of floating in midair. You're right. This place is weird. Whatever magic is in this place, I don't like it.
It makes me think that perhaps the spiral outside could it be some sort of strange magical antenna that it's causing all of these strange patterns that transported us into the structure, and now we have these floaty areas.
Maybe. Do you think that whatever was freed from here, either caused it or is related to it? Maybe that's how they escaped.
The zones, the floaty zones here, they don't seem to be scientifically placed. So I think that's a good assumption. What if the creature person escaped and in its outburst produced these strange floaty air things?
Yeah. Well, unless we find it and ask it, I don't think we're going to get the answers. But who knows?
I think it could be a good idea for you to light your lantern as well. Keep it on your belt. After all, it's very dark here.
Agreed. As Yukiro, I pull out my lantern and light it and then attach it to my belt.
Now it looks like there are two archways. We could go north or west. Perhaps it would be wise to take a little peek.
Yes, let's have a little peek. Let's not go into danger needlessly this time. Maybe.
I'll examine the north archway. As Aldred, I walk towards the north and look through it, rolling to determine if it's a room or corridor. A room is revealed, rolling to determine the size of the room. The room is 10 feet deep from north to south and 40 feet from west to east. I roll the usage die to determine if the floor has been shortened in the exploration. No effect. Rolling to determine the room contents. Security system. Before rolling for the security system, rolling to determine other exits in the room. The room in rectangular size has a doorway on each wall, north, west, east. And Aldred can hear the sound of machinery activating. Rolling to determine the security system. 1d10 on page 75. An extremely unpleasant noise fills the room. Aldred must make a dexterity check in order to avoid suffering damage. Rolling, adding the dexterity modifier, which is 0, nothing. 13. Checking the average difficulty in the machine general chat. channel, Aldred can feel as if his ears are about to burst, but there is no bleeding or internal damage as he touches his ears and feels the pain go away. But he feels completely disoriented. -2 to any checks related to perception for the next 24 hours. Ah! As Aldred, I bite and put my fingers in and out of my ears, trying to figure out what is going on. I roll to determine the details of the room. Page 73, rolling a D100. 74, grab. Spirits. As I look around after recovering from the disorientation caused by the sound, I notice that all of the walls have paintings of spirits reaching towards people running from them. I turn to Yukiro and speak. Well, this room had some sort of strange sound blasting, and it really hurt, but not as much. But I don't think I'll be able to hear very well, at least for a day. But look at the walls. They have images of ghostly figures chasing people.
As Yukiro, I put both hands on both my ears to cover them from the noise, and then I take a peek inside.
And Yukiro notices everything that Aldred has described.
Yeah, as Yukiro, I walk out of the room and lower my hands before saying, more of these strange art things. What do you think it means?
I was hoping there would be like a clue, perhaps related to the demon and the world destruction that we saw in the other structure, but this seems to be unrelated. These ghostly figures chasing people, I'm thinking that perhaps it could be connected to the strange torture devices that we saw.
Potentially. I mean, this place is a fair distance away from where we were.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you examine the door on the west side?
Yeah, I suppose I'd better. Cautiously, as Yukiro moves over to the other room to peek her head in to see what's in there.
On page 71, roll 1d10 to determine if it's a room or corridor.
Not my D10. My D10. 5.
A room has been revealed. Roll 2 six-sided dice and mention the results separately.
5 and 1.
The room is 10 feet deep from west to east and 50 feet from north to south. Roll a d4 to determine the exits.
4.
All of the walls have a doorway at the center. Roll to determine the room contents on page 72. A d6.
6.
The usage die has not reduced, so the structure is still very large. 6. The result is other feature. Roll on the other features table on page 76. 1d6 on page 76.
Two.
Brazier. Roll,
As Yukiro.
roll to determine the overall theme. First on page 73, a d100 on page 73.
Mm, 62.
Fake. Roll on page 74, a d100.
$44.
24.
40,
Fake.
44.
44. Fake mimicry.
Mimicry.
Come up with the interpretation.
As Yukiro looks through the door, she spots a pretty much a similar room to the one they're in. Only this one has a very small table in the middle. And every item that's in the room that they're currently in is on this table, as if mimicking the room that they're currently in.
As Aldred
Hey,
I
Aldred.
approach Yukiro. Yes, did you see something?
Yeah, it kind of looks like the same room, but it's not. It's almost as if they made a toy case of it before, I don't know, maybe after or before making this one.
I was thinking that maybe it was like a planning room. Maybe they planned the other room in this little like tabletop sized environment in order to recreate the room in a larger proportion.
Yeah, that's my thoughts. This place is so weird. I don't like it.
Yes, because it looks like there's something here. Like perhaps they were using this structure to keep something contained, and perhaps it escaped.
Yeah, maybe this model thing was to improve it, or maybe this is the original design. Who knows?
Well, now we have 6 options to explore. We can look through the doorways in this room or in the other room in the north. But I think that considering the other room, the other part was trapped, maybe it's more dangerous over there.
Maybe. I say since we're in this room, we look around here first, just in case.
Let me take a look into the south. As Aldred, I approach with lantern in the left hand, the medallion in the right hand, and look through the doorway of the south, rolling to determine the layout. 1d10 on page 71. Another room has been revealed. Rolling to determine the size. 6 and 2. 20 feet wide from west to east. And 60 from north to south. Rolling to determine the number of exits. D4. All of the walls also have doorways. Open doorways. Rolling to determine the usage die if the structure has reduced in size. No, the usage die remains the same. Rolling to determine the contents of the room. The room is completely empty. Rolling to determine the details of the room, page 73 at the 100. Follow rolling on the other table. Follow theft. As Aldred, I look around to ascertain the architectural and aesthetic details of the room, and even more paintings. And this one, Aldred discovers the image of as the thief-like figure, exactly like the one in the skyscraper, once again running, holding some sort of artifact in his arms. I turn around and Yukiro and mention, this structure could definitely be connected with the other one, because the image here, as Aldred speaks, I roll to determine the room events. D20 on page 77. Light bends in ways that reveal hidden text on walls. As Aldred speaks, the walls present various messages in different sections. As Aldred, I immediately interrupt myself. But there are words on the walls. Here, look.
As Yukiro, I barge past Aldred and start gazing at all the walls. Ooh, what do they say? What do they say?
I wonder if I can interpret them. Let me take a closer look. As Aldred, I approach the writings and begin trying to decipher or make sense of them. I think I've seen them before. Making a keen senses check. Advantage on perception to spot hidden things. Natural 20. Nice. I can understand them. Now, if I piece the messages together, it would mean that rolling to determine the message on page 73, a D100. $22 claim. Claim ruin. Yukiro, the message reads, as the most skilled thief, I claim this ruin for my own. It repeats itself constantly all over the walls.
As Yukiro, I stumble over my own words for a minute before turning to Aldred and saying, so basically this is a I was here message is basically what you're telling me. The thief decided to write, I was here.
But I wonder if it was just a temporary stay or if he took this place as some sort of stronghold.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But as Yukiro, I still stumble on my words before saying, this place is abandoned. There's not a sign of another life here at all. Unless this was like so long ago that they're long since gone.
Do you think this thief came when someone was already here, or that he also found this place empty like us?
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I'm not seeing any signs of them having been here recently, though.
Well, either way, we have even more exits here. This place is such a maze.
Yeah. Hopefully we can find the way out. Once we've explored the place, of course.
So many options to look into. Do you think we should take a look at the newly revealed doorways, or should we go back to the room with the brazier that you explored to see if there's to look through the other doors?
Yeah, let's go back to the brazier and see what's through those doors.
Both Aldred and Yukiro are now in the room with the brazier, and there is a room to the west, and a door to the west, and a door to the north. Well, it's your turn, Yukiro. I'll be right behind you with my amulet at the ready.
Okay, Aldred. As Yukiro, I move carefully towards the west door and cautiously peek inside.
Roll on page 71, area layout 1d10.
Seven.
A room. Roll 2 six-sided dice, announcing the values separately.
6-1.
The newly revealed room is 10 feet from west to east and 60 feet from south to north. Roll 1d4 to determine the number of exits.
1.
Roll d6 divided by 2, rounding up to determine where it is placed.
2.
The newly revealed doorway, the only exit revealed, is in the north. The usage die has been reduced to d4. The floor is almost explored, as Yukiro and Aldred reason based on the architecture and layouts. Roll on page 72, room contents. 1d6.
Four.
The room is impassable due to rubble within it. Just through the rubble, Yukiro is barely able to see a door, but it is behind an enormous amount of rubble, blocking the entire room.
As Yukiro, I turn to Aldred and say, well, this way's a no-go. There's too much rubble in the way.
It also makes me wonder if this rubble was caused by some sort of catastrophe related to the torture room. You know, our current hypothesis is that something released itself from the torture device and then perhaps went a bit on a rampage.
That is possible.
Because if it's able to manipulate the air around us, as you can see, the floaty areas, maybe it can also, through some sort of pull, you know, some students of the ancient technologies, they speak of this magical force known as electromagnetism. So maybe he found a way to pull the something from the ceiling, brought the entire ceiling down on the room.
I mean, maybe that's how it escaped. It stopped the others from following it.
Let me take a look at the through the north doorway in this room of the brazier. As Aldred, I walk and with my lantern in the left hand illuminate the doorway to the north. Rolling to determine if it's room or corridor. On page 71, rolling a d10. A corridor has been revealed. Rolling to determine the size of the corridor. A 40-foot long corridor from north to south is revealed. Rolling to determine the number of exits. Single exit at the far end of the corridor. Rolling to determine the theme of the corridor. The details. 1d100. Decay. War. Aldred can see that the entire corridor is falling apart. The ceiling, the walls, the floor have parts turning to dust. The blue painting on the various surfaces has been scratched away, revealing light brown stone. Rolling to determine ruin event. Page 77. The air fills with floating geometric patterns. As I speak, again, these strange symbols, and I look away from them. I'm not looking at them. What if it end up transported into some other place? Don't stare at them too long.
As Yukiro, I push Aldred out the way and peer at them. The what now? Who?
Yukiro must roll a d20 to determine if something occurs with the patterns.
9.
A strange effect begins to occur. Roll on page 73, 1d100.
$45.
45.
Disturb.
Next roll on the next page. 1d100.
77.
Disturb life. Come up with an interpretation of the result. As the patterns swirl and take form.
As Yukiro looks at the patterns, anything alive within the area starts to decay, but then comes back to life in a strange but rhythmic pattern.
As already I speak to Yukiro, what do you think about those patterns? Are you suffering something? Are you all right?
As Yukiro step back and say, "Don't go, don't. Yep, I'm done with whatever that is. Done. I'm done."
What do you mean?
Let's just say it's weird, and as Yukiro, I stumble over my words a bit. Life happens, dies, happens. It's weird. Okay, let's just get out of here. I'm done.
But I'm very curious. How did you notice that life decays?
There were a couple like plants, and my hand was going weird, and no, I'm done.
That sounds dangerous. Maybe if we enter the corridor, we start to decay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't like it, Aldred. I don't like it. as Yukiro sort of like cling onto his arm and kind of shake it. Get us out of here, Aldred.
I steady myself as much as I can as I'm being shaken, and I speak. But that is also, of course, I don't want to go in there, but it's very interesting because the moment you peered into the corridor, the effect triggered, and you said that you saw like plants in there, like plant organisms, and then they start to decay. So maybe we needed a password to deactivate that.
Well, you're the smart person, Aldred. I'd leave it that to you.
Yes, that is
if you
my
want to
guess.
chance it.
That is my guess. Let's see if we can find the password in some other room. Perhaps we can say it, or if it's not a password, an artifact or a device, and maybe we can cross to the other side of the corridor.
Maybe.
Salvador, I speak. Well, we have two options. We could go to the room on the far north. It has already three doorways in there, or we could go south in the room where we saw the message of this thief, because there are also 3 doors in there.
As Yukiro, I ponder this for a minute and say, well, maybe the room with the messages might lead off into something that might help us. I don't know. What do you think, Aldred?
I think that if the individual in question left a message in there, maybe there are more clues related to that thief. I feel that thief is connected to the security devices and the strange effects that we have witnessed, including what happened to my brother.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the same feeling, Aldred.
Yukiro must roll a d20 to determine if there is a hostile encounter. 11 or more, there is a hostile encounter.
3.
And there is still silence. All right, let's go to check out that area. As already I walked into the room with the messages on the walls. Then, as Aldred, I look into the door facing the east, rolling to determine the area layout, if it's a room or corridor. D10. A room is revealed, rolling to determine the size of the room. 60 feet from north to south. 40 feet deep from west to east. Rolling the usage die to see if the size of the floor has been reduced. It has been reduced based on the layout. As already I speak, I've seen similar structures before. I think we are done exploring this area, but there must be a way leading up or down after all. As I continue moving the lantern around, exploring the contents of the room. Rolling 1d4 to determine the number of exits. A single staircase on the far end. Rolling to determine if the staircase goes up or down. The staircase goes down. Rolling to determine the room contents. Other feature, rolling on the features table. Page 76. A fresco. Rolling to determine the images on the fresco. Page 73 at D100. hurry. Rolling to determine the other word. Hurry mimicry. As Aldred, I look at the frescoes. Aldred can see the same thief figure appearing in repeated patterns all over the walls, building the miniature version of the torture room. Rolling to determine the effect of the fresco. Secrets are revealed to Aldred as he looks at the image. Rolling to determine the secrets revealed. On page 73, rolling a d100. Guard. Knowledge. As Aldred, I look to Yukiro and speak. This room, just take a look at it. It has a fresco with the same thief-like figure, and it is obvious that he was building the miniature objects that you saw in the other room, the ones that looked exactly like the other room. But I feel like some sort of strange message through perhaps subconscious patterns has been revealed to me. I believe that this thief was some sort of guardian. Either he stole something from the demon and decided to create this structure to guard that something, which it could it be something or someone? Because what if the thing that he stole was some sort of strange automaton entity device that he stored in the Iron Maiden type of structure, and then it made its escape?
I don't suppose you think, what if the demon was the one that tracked the thief down and broke in and stole it back?
And retrieved, that's also a possibility. What if the chamber was created to store the device or object or whatever it is that the thief stole? Because the images were too abstract. I don't know what it is that it stole.
Yeah. For all we know, the object could be what the demon was imprisoned in.
So you're saying the demon was imprisoned and the thief stole the object, but the frescoes
maybe
were revealing an image of the thief stealing something from the demon.
Do you, Aldred, remember the thing that attacked us the other day and had another thing inside it? What if that's the case here?
An object with another object inside of it?
Yeah.
Well, that will be very confusing. But what do you think? There is an object inside of the object?
I mean,
just based on that encounter?
I'm just brainstorming, Aldred. I'm just brainstorming.
That's something to consider, because it would be connected to that as well. But I'm not sure exactly if the thief is still alive. If you said if the demon came to recover what it was stolen from it, if the demon was the one that caused the strange floaty effects and destroyed the other room.
Oh, this is so confusing, Aldred. As Yukiro, I start pacing back and forth, trying to ponder things over.
Well, whatever the case, it is obvious that these stairs lead down. We're either in one of the middle levels of the pyramid. If it's like we're actually inside of the pyramid, that's only our guess. Or we are at the top of the pyramid. Could it be that this is the top? Because if you're keeping something very important locked, maybe you want to keep it at the top of the pyramid so that people take longer to reach it.
Yeah, that would be my guess. And maybe the thing that transported us in was, I guess, that demon's magic?
Perhaps a portal that the demon wanted to get into the structure, and they used some sort of enchantment that like a teleportation, like a gateway between the staircase outside and the top.
Yeah.
But it looks like it was a one-way thing because when we were transported here, we didn't see anything that would take us back outside.
Take us back out. Yeah, agreed. I thought maybe the things I saw earlier, but ugh, that was not it. That was not it.
Mm-hmm. Could that also be if it was the same patterns, same geometric patterns? So what if this demon so like his trademark? If he casts something, he leaves these
Maybe.
triangles and circles and squares floating.
That yes. I don't know much about this stuff, Aldred, but that sounds right to me.
As Aldred, I speak almost expressing my thoughts out loud. I remember reading once that there were these strange beings created by the ancients to educate children. When the gods were born, as they said, they had these wondrous intelligences, and they would teach children about the geometry and other topics. I cannot help but make a connection that perhaps could this demon be a spawn of such projects, and perhaps it went rogue. Maybe it was created to project holograms of beautiful geometric shapes, and somehow found a way to enact its magic for other purposes.
That sounds like it's very possible, Aldred.
Yes, but we need more clues. This is just me speculating. It could be something completely different.
Yeah, for all we know, everything we've thought of so far could be completely wrong.
Well, one thing is certain. If we can find either the thief or the object, things will become more clear.
Agreed. Either way, I don't think it's here. At least not anymore.
No, let us go down. I mention as Aldred, as I take the lantern with my left hand and prepare the medallion with the right.
As Yukiro, I keep my sword ready just in case. And I follow along.
And so Yukiro and Aldred descend into the darkness below. And I think this is a good part to end the session, right? Like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's a good cliffhanger.
That's very strange. All of the things that we have found, especially the geometric patterns that occurred twice because we rolled the same result twice.
Yeah. Hey, at least we didn't roll any more ruins.
And we didn't find enemies.
Yeah. That was very lucky.
By the way, you're doing a really good job of describing the entire thing as a game master. The only thing again, sometimes you say like you see kinda like, sort of like. You know what's a good tip when you are, because you are an author, right? But unless you are doing a monologue, you never tell your readers something like the guy kinda looks like, right? Like you're this, because it would be like having a conversation with someone. Because that can be used in books, right? When there is a monologue, like if someone is like a diary, like a dear diary, the other day I saw what kind of looked like this or that. But when you're describing the situation, with eliminating the kinda, sorta, it's going to pull us deeper into the fantasy.
Yeah. It's just weird because when I'm in writing mode, I don't do that at all. But when I'm in roleplay mode, it just kind of comes out.
Because that's perfectly valid when you are a character. When you are in character, sometimes people say kind of like, sort of like, But when we are looking at things, it's better to eliminate the kind of, sort of, because if you are looking at something objectively, like straight into your eyes or ears or whatever that you are seeing. Or you could also replace it like with similar, no? Like you see an object similar to this or that.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Well, that was great. Any thoughts, Yukiro, before we close this session?
I am so confused by this plot line, but I'm so still here for it.
Uh-huh. But I really like the way that the this structure is connecting with the other. We only made those
Yeah.
connections later after the fresco revealed again the presence of the thief. We had the theft thing going on.
Yeah.
Because we were so desperate at exploring the wilderness, finding like a settlement to ask questions about this or that. We found these ruins. Do you know about a demon or a thief? But perhaps in these ruins, if as we continue to descend, maybe more things will be revealed. And I also, I think we should roll later on to see the size of the pyramid, the exact size. Perhaps I use such die, to see the size not only of the floor we are in, but of the entire pyramid, because we don't know how many floors there are, right?
Yeah.
Well,
And
thank you
for
to what? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and for all we know, it could go underground as well.
Oh, that would be huge. So imagine we are at the very top, we go back to the ground level, and there could be even
More. Yeah, more.
You do know that's how the whole dungeon thing started, right, Yukiro, or not?
Yeah.
The Dave Arneson, the creator of role-playing games, he had this castle, Blackmoor Castle. But his adventurers, his group, explored the entire castle, and he was thinking, well, they explored the entire castle. Now what? Oh, they find a dungeon, and so that's how the everything in video games, role-playing games, everything has to do with the dungeons. It's because Dave Arneson wanted to expand the castle, so there's a dungeon, and you go down several levels.
That's so cool.
I think another alternative would have been to have perhaps some sort of portal in one of the highest parts of the castle that leads you up into like a structure, a weird structure in the heavens.
Yeah.
So you either go down or up, right?
Go down or up, yeah.
Well, thank you to everyone for watching our actual play. We're going to continue exploring these mysteries, and hopefully we'll find a way to deactivate the security systems near Yukiro's home, because she doesn't want to get blasted by the alien energies, and we'll find out what happened to Aldred's brother, if there is a cure or if he's done for. We shall see. So thank you everyone, and thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button, like, subscribe. Take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. You will find Yukiro's channel in the description of this video as well. Go check it out. She streams video games, sometimes literature, so definitely take a look. And remember, this has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, with Yukiro Fate, participating in this science fantasy adventure. And remember, roleplay solves everything. So once again, thank you, and see you all later. I'm stopping the recording in 10 seconds.